I found Rome a city of bricks and left it, a city of marble. Make haste slowly. Let them hate me so long as they fear me. Better to be the first man in a village than the second man in Rome. I found it advisable to do all the talking myself, to wear the leader who bangs the drums of war in order to whip the citizenry into a patriotic fervor, for patriotism is indeed a double-edged sword. It both emboldens the blood, just as it narrows the mind. I am a citizen, not of Athens or Greece, but of the world. Festina lente, make haste slowly. It is easier to find men who will volunteer to die than to find those who are willing to endure pain with patience. I do not admire the sword. It is the soldier. The greatest punishment for a guilty man is the burden of his own guilt. I cannot approve of a God who wants to be praised all the time. I wish all Romans had but one neck. We must create a world economy that is sustainable and just, not just a world economy that is based on greed and power. I am but a man, and men are born to die. May my enemies live long and happy lives in order to see the success of my policies. I am the servant of the people, and if the people desire it, I shall continue to serve. The more laws, the less justice. He who controls the purse strings controls the empire. I found the city of Rome a city of mud and left it a city of brick. I do not care to die, but I pray to God that I may die bravely. The greatest reward for a man's toil is not what he gets for it, but what he becomes by it. The art of taxation consists in so plucking the goose as to obtain the largest possible amount of feathers with the smallest possible amount of hissing. I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something, and I will not let what I cannot do interfere with what I can do. I have done nothing for which I need to apologize. I am the captain of my soul. The city is well fortified which has a wall of men instead of brick. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go, but ought to be. It is the duty of a good shepherd to shear his sheep, not to flay them. To marry is to have one's rights and double one's duties. The death of one man is a tragedy. The death of millions is a statistic. I am a lover of peace, and I hate war and discord with all my soul. If you seek tranquility, do less. What cannot be cured must be endured. I found Rome brick and left it marble. In matters of style, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. The people who make the decisions are the people who pay the price. A wise man will make more opportunities than he finds. What a great empire Rome might have been, had it been blessed with good emperors. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. I have found Rome a city of brick and left it a city of marble. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. It is a sad fate for a man to die, too well known to everybody else, and still unknown to himself. He who possesses the heart of a lion can command the allegiance of all men. I would rather be first in a small village in Gaul than second in command in Rome. When a man has once broken through the paper walls of everyday circumstance, those unsubstantial walls that hold so many of us securely, prisoned from the cradle to the grave, he has made a discovery. If the world does not please you, you can change it. Let justice be done, though the heavens fall. The secret of all victory lies in the organization of the non-obvious. I have achieved nothing, but with the help of others. From the moment I picked up your book until I laid it down, I was convulsed with laughter. Some day I intend reading it. It is a kingly act to assist the fallen. He who controls the past controls the future. He who controls the present controls the past. I am only a man who is doing his best to live up to his own reputation. The best way to win an argument is to begin by being right. When the people fear the government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty. Laws are like cobwebs, which may catch small flies, but let wasps and hornets break through. I found Rome built of bricks. I leave her clothed in marble. It is a commonly observed fact that an empire created by force is never a lasting one. I am your emperor, but I am also your fellow citizen. The safety of the people shall be the highest law. One must be fond of people and trust them. If one is not to make a mess of life, no man can be called friendless, who is God and the companionship of good books. It is easier to exclude harmful passions than to rule them, and to deny them admittance than to control them after they have been admitted. The art of leadership is to make people believe in you the way you believe in yourself. If you wish to be loved, love. I do not demand absolute obedience from my subjects, but rather their hearts. The best way to predict the future is to create it. The greatest virtue of a man is perhaps his courage. The man who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. I have always tried to do my duty to my country, and I am willing to die for it. The greatest gift a man can give his children is his own life and example. A good soldier is not made by a single battle. I cannot pretend to feel impartial about colors. I rejoice with the brilliant ones, and am genuinely sorry for the poor browns. He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Fortune favors the bold. Rome is the city of echoes, the city of illusions, and the city of yearning. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. The greatest honor a man can receive is to be called a friend. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. The measure of a man is not in his height or weight, but in his character. It is not the oath that makes us believe the man, but the man the oath. There is nothing more admirable than when to people who see eye to eye keep house as man and wife, confounding their enemies and delighting their friends. I have lived long enough, both in years and in accomplishments. We cannot have a world where everyone is a victim. I'm this way because my father made me this way. That's what Stalin said. What a horrible philosophy. Let your stomach be your guide. To be ignorant of what occurred before you were born is to remain always a child. In a republic this rule ought to be observed, that the majority should not have the predominant power. To give aid to every poor man is far beyond the reach and power of every man. Care of the poor is incumbent on society as a whole. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. Love is not about possession. Love is about appreciation. Do not let the past dictate who you are, but let it be part of who you will become. I am often called a wise man, and yet I know nothing. A ruler must not judge us wholly on the basis of what he hears. We must be ready to dare all for our country, for history does not long entrust the care of freedom to the weak or the timid.